Here's a playoff update after the first game of the second round, and I can't lie, this series might be a tougher challenge than the Lakers. As you can see, there's game 1 of the second round of the other game, the Rockets and the Grizzlies. Kenyon Martin had 20 points, the Rockets are at 1-0. The Miami Heat are predictably 1-0 ahead against the Orlando Magic. Chris Bosh had 33 and 5, while D Wade had 23 and 7. And the Boston Celtics, as you can see, Dwight Howard only had 2.7 rebounds. Dwight had a stinker game 1, needs to come back majorly for game 2. And as you can see, the Boston Celtics, they're 1-0 ahead against Chicago. As you can see, Ray Allen, 17 points, 3 rebounds. Shaquille O'Neal, 9 points, 10 rebounds. And Rajon Rondo, 9 points, 13 assists. Now, let's enter game 2.
There's a buzz in the air here at the American Airlines Center. Game 2 of the Western Conference semifinals. I'm Tap here. Welcome back to the NBA playoffs. With Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Hart. Look at the Mavericks. Tough loss for them in game 1. We'll see if they can.
This will not be an easy series against Dirk Nowitzki. After the numbers he put up against us in game 1, we have to come out swinging for game 2, but I'm afraid that no matter what we do, they're going to be right there. And you'll notice in this game, we've made some defensive changes as far as who's guarding Nowitzki. We realised that pretty much LaMarcus Aldridge wasn't doing a damn thing to Dirk Nowitzki, especially in the post, so we've had to change it up. Marcus Camby is starting, and in this game we also realised that Greg Oden, he also helps. So I think what we're going to do for game 3 is we're going to put Greg Oden in the centre, we're going to put Marcus Camby at power forward and LaMarcus Aldridge at small forward. And you'll see that we tested this format pretty much in this game, in the second half of this game. As you can see, we're 10-9 up as Dirk Nowitzki goes inside for the left-handed layup. And I had a good start to this game. As you can see, pick and roll with Marcus Camby. He rolls to the rim right there. And I noticed that there's a lot of passes in this game that are too risky as far as the Mavericks intercepting. Look at Nicholas Batum, they're wide open for 3. And we're down by 5. There's a nice little fadeaway shot there from the left-hand side as we reduce the gap towards 3. But for some reason, just Dallas keep extending and maintaining the lead to 3, then 5, then 7. LaMarcus Aldridge putting in that work in the post as we enter the last 12 seconds of the first quarter, and we're down by 5, so it's not a good start. We don't really start well, as we're going to run this play for Brandon Roy. You've seen it so many times. He comes off the screen, as you can see, Marcus Aldridge with the screen, comes off, bang, and we end the first, only down by 3, but we know that it's not how you start, it's how you finish the game, and the last quarter always matters. So we're going to try and keep pace with the Dallas Mavericks, and as you can see, Brandon's just putting in work on, I think that's Caron Butler. Jeff Pantagraph makes some absolute decent shots here. He barely gets any minutes, but we've been feeding him in this quarter. Easy steal there for Greg Oden, pass out to Brandon Roy, but he gets blocked there by Deshaun Stevenson, and we have to kind of reset the play. Nicholas Batum, too much space for 3 as we retake the lead once again. And this is a close series. The Lakers series was close, but there were 2 games that were pretty much blowouts. And as you can see, we're playing good defense, but we just don't really we just lack rebounding efficiency. And there's just so many times, especially in the second half of this game, where we just absolutely lack critical rebounding. Look at the cheekiness of Brandon Roy, just steps back, pulls up for 3, all in Shawn Marion's face. Nothing but net. I come back in just on the verge of 4 minutes, and again another overhead pass. The Dallas Mavericks, they must have been asleep, because there's so many passes that we literally did that could have been turnovers. And that's one of the things we need to limit for game 3, because in game 1 we just had too many turnovers. Look at me, I got Jason Kidd up in the air, and I have that layup. Apologies about the footage if the footage does seem to break every now and again. Here's a replay. As you can see, I go underneath the basket, and as you can see, I have that nice layup. I switch from a right hand to my left, up and under. His head his arm is literally in between the rim, and that's nothing but net. As we close the lead down to 1, that step back, pretty much fake the pick and roll there with Marcus Camby. But the one thing I need to do more often is I need to feed LaMarcus Aldridge the ball, because that's the way we're going to win games, I believe. LaMarcus Aldridge, he had less than 10 points in this game, so I think if Aldridge gets some decent contributions, it's Nick Batum. Now, nice bounce pass as we extend the lead to 3 with just over a minute left. Greg Oden tries to get some action all over Tyson Chandler. That's no good. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Rudy Fernandez, he's been a little bit quiet ever since earlier on in the season, and I think he's just lost his form. But look at this matchup. Dirk Nowitzki and Rudy Fernandez. Thankfully, Dirk Nowitzki is too far away. But that is the end of the first, and we are leading by 7.
And the first half is now in the books. And we'll return.
And welcome everyone to HP at the half. Second round action is in full swing. Let's break it down. These two have been on their game tonight. They've led the way for their teams in the scoring department. And that's it for now as we send you back out to Kevin and Clark for the second half. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody.
Just like what I said at the start of the game, it's not how you start the game, it's how you finish the game. And even though we're up 7, now 5, the Mavericks can always come back, so we've got to try and finish out strong. It's time for Brandon Roy to start taking over. As you can see, fake the pick and roll for a free jump shot, 11 points there. But as you can see, I made a couple of mistakes defensively. I left Jason Terry wide open for 3. I cut the lead pretty much down to a tie game. Brandon Roy wide open from the right hand side of the corner, nothing but net. Gives the lead right back, but as you can see, Dallas are they're just all over us. And again, Brandon Roy from the default baseline gives us the lead once again. This play wide open once again. They're leaving Brandon Roy too open too many times. And as you can see, he has 20 points. Does Brandon Roy. Nick Batum tries to do a fadeaway jump shot there. It's a little bit short, but it goes in. As the game is tied at 57 with less than 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. They double team Brandon Roy. He goes the wrong way with it. Dirk tries to cover him off and drive, and that does enough to put off Brandon Roy just in the nick of time. We start the fourth quarter terribly. That's a terrible turnover for LaMarcus Aldridge, and Dirk Nowitzki goes all the way in for the layup there and gives Dallas the lead. We had to call timeout there. We had a couple of timeouts spare. Camby pass to Oden, pass to Brandon Roy, gives him a mean crossover on the right side. Pulls up, and we're behind again, but we're closing the gap. And it's nothing like ridiculous. Camby goes all the way on Brendan Haywood, slams it down, and it cuts the lead. And as you can see, I'm wide open right there. Dirk tries to close in. He's too late. As we close the lead to 2 with just over 5 minutes to go. I'm awake though. Look, I'm awake though. And 1. I was aware with that defensive possession, and I turned it into an extra possession. And now we take the lead. Dallas though, they've retaken the lead. They give it up. Brandon Roy gives it up to Greg Oden, and the lead is now down to 1. So it's pretty much a 1 possession game. All it takes is for 1 Dallas miss. Brandon Roy makes a tough layup off the glass that gives us the lead again, and we just need to go on a bit of a run. There was a run that we went on. I think it was like a 7-0 run in the third quarter. But look at that signature Dirk Nowitzki fade away. Nothing Greg Oden can do about it. 26 points for Dirk Nowitzki, and even though we closed him down in the first half, he kind of bounced back in the second, and there was really nothing that we could do about it. Brandon Roy tries to set the exact same play, but Dirk Nowitzki was aware, and that's another turnover for us as we enter the last minute 16. They go to Dirk, but as you can see, Camby calls for the help. No need for that, and it's just a pointless defense help, and we lose the lead. So now I'm trying to look for Camby. Camby finds LaMarcus Aldridge wide open. LaMarcus Aldridge gives us the lead. He only has 8 points in this game. However, this is where matters. The last 52 seconds and make a mistake. LaMarcus Aldridge thought that we were switching and I left Caron Butler wide open. The game is now within 2. But now this is where the most heartbreaking of plays happens in this game. Brandon Roy's all over Jason Kidd. As you can see, Aldridge gets that steal. It's a 3-on-3 fast break. Brandon Roy for free to win the game. He misses a wide open 3. And that was it. That was what we needed. That was the shot we needed. We foul. Dallas makes their free throws. Batum makes that 2. It should have been a 3, but it was a 2. But that's not enough. We lose this game. We lose game 2 by 2 points. Very close game. Brandon Roy, 24 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. I had 17 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 2 turnovers. Nick Batum at 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 block. But that game all depended on that 3. If Brandon Roy's 3 goes in, we win game 2 and we head back home with a 2-0 series advantage. But yeah, Dirk Nowitzki, 26 points. It's a shame. It's a real shame. 26 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal for Dirk Nowitzki. We head to game 3.